All right. This is study adoption. So we're gonna go over what happened today and some charts and stuff. So basically, what happened was, market was already bearish. So it dumped in the open, and then we got a first wave of rise, got a pullback, and then got another wave up, and then close was a little bit weak. So let's go over and see how could we predict all these kind of stuff. So going by indexes. SPX, I had this level, 34.52. I mean, if you want to learn, it's Fibonacci and stuff. I will go over that later. What happened was at the open, market dropped a lot. At the open, I'm sorry. At the open, market went up a little bit. All the names were bullish. At the open, I even played Apple and AMD calls. Just let me bring the open first. So if you look here at the open, let's just have Apple, for example. I played 2 calls at the open. So what happened is, at the open, always I do this. Before market opens, 5 minutes before, or even 1 minute before, I look at all these common names and look at the MACDs and all these technical indicators, see if they're pointing upward. So the technicals was upward that, pointed to a, run up at the open. So that's why at the open, it opened up, and you can see here the MACD and the 5 min was upward, and the 15 min was already upward. You can see here pre-market, and the 30 min was upward too. So at the open, I went into calls. I played Apple. I think I did AMD too, and it was good. But as soon as I see a weakness, I locked it. Then it starts running down. When it starts running down, always remember. You guys can hear me. Can somebody just say yes? When markets, okay. So when market opens, especially like today, you all have to know the levels of the day before. Like where was the lowest day of the market, and the common names and indexes and stuff. So for example, if you look at the SPY, so SPY overnight, it was a little bit wild up and down. It went down a lot, and then this is, you guys who don't know my charts, this is the setup I have. I have my watch list here. These are indexes. These are the common names I play, position, and this is my main watch list is 500 names. So on these charts, I have 1 min, 5 min, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, and monthly. Always look at the whole time frame. So SPY overnight was very wild, but after I think it was 12 a.m. at midnight, Pacific time, it starts running up. So it gave a bullish sign, and then it was bullish. At the open, it gets a little bit bearish, but these levels that I have, I knew it is gonna. These levels I have, once it goes below the yesterday lows, it can dive down. So this is really important. Always know what was the lowest level of the day before. So you can see the low level of yesterday was like 342. And once it took over, it took over it here. Let's see on the 5 min. Okay. So it went, this is yesterday. So 342, once it went below 342, it dived down and went to the 23 level. So what's interesting is I told my previous class, people paid for it, that anytime you see a Fibonacci goes below 61 a level, it can go all the way super fast to the level 23. So it went below the, it came to the level that was yesterday, the low of the day of yesterday, 42 something. And then after that, boom, it went down, touched down on 23%, which was 335. But here's the beautiful thing. When it went down, always remember when market goes down, it can suddenly bounce back. So I played put. I sold early, but I wanted to buy again, but I didn't touch it. I waited. I said, this is probably gonna bounce back, because imagine, Apple was 138 3 days ago. Okay, so 138 and came what to 110 today. That's more than like, I don't know, 20%. That's like a bear market. So it's just a huge discount. And if you notice, Apple, another name that was interesting, overnight and before in the aftermarket yesterday, it went to low of 317. If I yeah, so before aftermarket, it went all the way down to 316, and then it bounced back a little bit. It was bullish at the open. And you see, it went up, but when it came down, I mean, at some point, anything that comes down so fast, um, it's possible to jump back up too. So how could you predict that? Here's the thing: whenever you see a name, all indicators on all time frame goes oversold or reverse goes overbought, you gotta be careful. Anytime can reverse back super fast. So at this time, 10:45, 10 o'clock here, right? 10:40. Yeah, it was 10:45. At 10:45, all the market started bouncing back. Here's another thing. I have this screen here on my left. I have all the names, the common names: Netflix, Shop, Baba, Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, Facebook, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, AMD, SQ. So I have all these and these are all 5 minutes time frame. So I can see all of them. One thing that's really, really important is that always keep in mind that market always goes as a whole. So if the whole market is going up, they all go together up. And if it wants to go down, they always start going down at the same time. So at 10:45, you could notice that everything went super down, and then suddenly they start going back up. But before that, if you notice that all the indicators were so much, in the oversold zone. So it was a chance that any time can bounce back. And that's, I grabbed calls before it. I could have got it cheaper here, but I grabbed it a little bit earlier. So anyway, it starts bouncing back. Even if you are late even if you didn't buy it early, you were late, you could see in the 5-minute chart that TTM squeeze turned from red to yellow and gave you a candle the same size as the candle before on the 5-minute chart. So this is really important. You want to always look at these candles. If the candles are your best friend. You see these, you understand that it's a high possibility that this is going to bounce back. And I had the 113 level, which is the 61. So I assume this is going to resist here, which is resisted, went a little bit lower and jumped back up. And anyway, and also remember the round number, 110 and stuff. So it went to 110 something and bounced back. And another thing to notice is Bollinger Band. It went below the Bollinger Band. Always keep in mind, if the candle goes above Bollinger Band at any time frame, it can be weekly, it can be daily. It's not gonna be there very long. It can anytime jump back inside the Bollinger Band. These green one is Bollinger Band. So even if a name is rising super fast, like for example Tesla, let's look at Tesla here. You can see here that Tesla was just rising above Bollinger Band. Here, like this is a daily. Here went above it and then back inside, and it came and right now it resisted the middle one, the mid BB, mid Bollinger Band. So anyway, just gonna go one by one names. Apple resisted here. I grabbed the calls here and played, in and out quick. I mean, you could hold on, but if you just notice in the 5-minute, when it came yellow, it's a good safe spot to always hold it until you see a dark blue on the TTM squeeze, or you can hold it until you get a dead cross, before you get a dead cross on MACD on the 5-minute. Okay. So how do you know that? Okay, you see the MACD on Apple didn't dead cross, didn't until it get here and the curve turned down on the 5-minute. Okay, even if it went down here, I mean, it was good to lock it here. I mean, but if you look here on the 15-minute, and the 15-minute is interesting. It told you to, keep holding. Why? Because look, it's yellow, it turns to blue, and that was an indication that this can run up again higher. So even it came down, I mean, it turned to dark blue and the TTM squeeze and went to red, and then it turned to yellow. When it turned from red to yellow, that was the perfect time to grab it. And also you can see here the 1-minute, the 5-minute turned from yellow to blue, and the bar starts rising. As I said before, these bars size are really important. And when it went again to the overbought zone on the 5-minute, this was a perfect time to start blocking gains. And at the end, you can notice that, end of the market, especially like days like today and yesterday, when market market dropped crazy and bounced back. A lot of people, want to near close start locking profit. You can see here that people start locking profit here. It went up a little bit, but at the end close lower than this. And I had this 121 level. Again, these levels you can find them in the Fibonacci. So this was Apple. Amazon was a crazy name. That was just insane drop and bounce back. That was just crazy. So Lotus made a lot of money today. So I had this Amazon. Another thing to keep in mind is whenever market is droppish and a name goes below the open price, open candle, that's the time, this can dive down more. So Amazon, you can see here, open up, it was let me see how was the open. I didn't pay attention. Yeah, so at the open, it was pointing up. The 30 min was upward here a little bit. I mean, obviously the candle at the open, this would be upward. And the 5 min was upward, so it was bullish a little bit. It went up, then it came below it. When it came below the open candle, so it can dive down more. So this would be a target, but once it comes to 60, next target at 61, then it all the way went down to the 23 level, and you can see here resisted exactly at this level. I will go over your questions at the end. Let me just read. So just letting you know these indicators. This is MACD. This is RSI, stochastic fast, TTM squeeze, and then we have Bollinger Band. This green lines. And then we have the 5 and 10 SMA, and these lines are I get it with the Fibonacci. Nvidia was interesting. I mean, Nvidia had a crazy run last couple of days, and then yesterday it starts dropping crazy. And you can see here it resisted 500 a couple times, but again went below it. And the most beautiful thing today was that all the markets suddenly at 10:45 start bouncing. Again, look at this candle, same size candle, it bounced back, boom, it went up. But Nvidia, because of the crazy bounce, the premium are super high. And again, same thing, even if you didn't grab it here, if you missed this entry, you could have grabbed it here again and enjoy the run up to the close. So Baba was a very interesting one. That was very strong than other names. It dropped, went to the level, and then you can see here, always remember in the TTM squeeze, when the bars starts getting almost the same size, it means you're about to get a yellow one. And you can see here that, it bounced back, but if you grab it here, it's fine, but keep holding it, because right now the stochastic and the RSI and all of them are telling you that this can bounce back. And the 15 min, this is the most confirmation. I always told people, whenever you see a 15 min, the TTM is squeezing on the rise, hold it until you see a dark blue. I always told early too, because it's risky, but one of the most, if you can bear more risk, it's until you see a dark blue, hold it. So you can see here on the 15 min, the red turns to yellow, and boom, all the way from here to here, you had like what, 69 to 82. That's like 13 points. Shop was a little bit weak. I didn't touch it. Netflix was interesting. Netflix went below 500. This is something very interesting, because if you remember, Netflix was playing around 500 range and then suddenly had a crazy rise. So after that, I mean, when it came to this level, that was just a perfect buying zone. And you can see here that, how the MACD, again, same thing, TTM squeeze. So basically all the names, same thing happened. Microsoft was interesting too. Microsoft at today, at what time was it? Near close, it was right here. There is an app, CNBC. If you download it, it sends you a breaking news notification, and it's very interesting. Near close, what time was it exactly? I think, yeah, it was here. So it was like at 3 o'clock, there came a notification from CNBC that Pentagon is gonna give the contract of the cloud contract to Microsoft. So it was right here that the news came, like 3:04. As soon as it came, I bought it. And here's the thing, look at this option. One thing to notice, you can use all indicators and all these technicals on options too. So look, I added this Microsoft option to my watch list, and then I click on it and it opens. Look, at 3 o'clock, this news came. It was like 3:03 or 3:05. And look what happened. You could have grabbed it here at like 3 or 4, went all the way to 5.6. And another thing is, whenever you trade based on news, keep in mind, news can jump very sudden fast, and very sudden, you can have a drop. So that's exactly what happened to Microsoft. It went up here, and then you can see how fast it dropped back. So you have to be careful. Until you see a green bar on the 1 min, keep holding it. And then, it went to overbought zone, and the curve start turning down. And then, in the 1 min, you get a dark blue. Before, you got to get out. So in this MACD, this statistic that gave you all the, don't be greedy when you trade based on news, because news is a flashing news. It's a flash. It goes up fast. It can drop fast too. So Google was very interesting too. I didn't touch it, but Google made a new all-time high 2 days ago. And now look, it came resisted at the 1542. And after that, it wasn't as strong as the other name. My main focus today was Apple, because Apple has, why I chose Apple, because Apple had the most drop and was the name that triggered all these, dive down. So when whoever goes down first, earlier than anybody else, that's the one that, jumps back first too. So keep that in mind. And another thing that, Apple went down, how much? It's just, it was like 110. Just calculate that 1 second. 110 divided by 138. So that's like 21%, exactly like 21% went down. 20% is always a bear sign. So it's a place that everybody wants to grab when it's a critical point when something goes down 20%. So anyway, Google resisted, went up, went below the 60. This level. I didn't touch Google today. I wasn't that much interested, actually. Forget about Google. So AMD was interesting too, but I didn't touch that. SQ. The one I played, okay, here's another thing. The days like today that everything is going up or everything is going down, you sometimes you get confused which name to grab, which name to touch. The best thing to do at those moments is play the indexes or ETF and indicators. So for example, in the indicators, we have IWM on the RUT, which RUT wasn't that much volatile today. But then we have SPY for SPX, and then we have QQQ. QQQ is the most common ETF for technology stocks, okay? So QQ, it actually, I grabbed, when it came to this bottom here, you can see, 1 second. Okay, here, same thing. QQ got a candle, same size, and jumped back up. It was just a perfect play, because here's the thing. When everything goes up, something may go faster up, something may go slower up, but you don't know which one to grab. So just grab the one that has everything. So QQ was a perfect play. Here you bought it, you could have bought it, and then at this resistance level 282, it was a perfect place to sell. And if you look at the 5 min, even if you grabbed it late like here, you could have grabbed it. TTM squeeze was yellow still, the bar was rising, it gave you a blue bar, light blue, and then before you get a dark blue, you could have get out. So you could have get out here, and then this was a resistance level 282. It went down. Even if you missed it playing this part, you could have waited until you see another bottom. It turns from red to yellow here, and you can see that at this time Apple will start rising. So when Apple goes up, remember, Apple is a major part of market. When Apple goes up, all market goes up. So after that, start just rising. You can see here the TTM squeeze on the 5 minutes starts rising, and 15 min. Even if here's another thing. When a name drops, like here, look, QQ drops from here to here, like how many points? Like 4 or 5 points. Even if it drops 5 points, but it's still the 15 min told us that this is still bullish. So you can see here the TTM squeeze didn't give us a red bar, or MACD didn't dead cross. It dropped 5 points, but it still was bullish. And other time frame is still bullish. Why I went cash today? Because of this. The 4 hours on many names is still the MACD, and all these are still very, very bearish. So like, for example, if you look at Apple, just look, this 4 hours, yes, the statistic fast is coming out, give you an early, warning alert that maybe market is going to go more up. but these TTM squeeze super red, and the MACD didn't give a very good confirmed sign for rising. So it's still possible to go a little bit down before it goes up. On top of that, a lot of major names, the daily is very bearish now. A lot of names since yesterday and today, their MACD got the dead cross. Like look at Amazon. Amazon is dead cross. So another name was which one was a Shop? Just Shop. Look, the MACD how it is. Like this is possible to go even lower. So even if it bounced today, the bounce wasn't that much strong. So there was a few names like Apple was strong. I was thinking about getting Apple or AMD, but still I look at the 4-hour chart. You can see the TTM squeeze still is very bearish. So that's pretty much it. So let me see. Tesla. Okay, Tesla was interesting. It came down to 372 level, and it bounced back. And Tesla was way overdue for a pullback. Way overdue. And you can see here that once it went, always pay attention to the Bollinger Band on daily and all-time frame. It was way above. It was riding the top of the BB on the daily chart, and then at this point when it starts dropping because of the starting selling shares and stuff, it came all the way to the mid BB. So always remember, when something goes below on the daily, goes like below the BB on the daily, it can jump back and go all the way back to the mid BB. Or if something goes so much up and is riding the top BB, when it starts pulling back, it can pull back all the way to the mid BB, Bollinger Band. So here Tesla dropped a lot. It came to this mid BB here was 390 on the daily, and it starts riding down the 4-hour. And I had this level 384. It went below it and it jumped back. Same as all market, it starts jumping back. When it jumped back, it went up, and then if you remember last couple of days, that's why you always want to remember last days in your mind. 407 was a tough level, and it resisted like many times to go lower than that. It went exactly to the 407 level. That's why I mentioned 407 is the target. Then after that, it rided around it, and then the indicators, and you can see on the 5 min and the 15 min. The 15 min already was bullish on Tesla. You can see all these. Light blue is, the bar is on the rise. And here at this point, when the market starts going up, Tesla went up too. So the MACD here that starts golden crossing on the 5 min, this is the perfect time to grab it. And before, you see a darker, you could have locked it here or a little bit more if you are, sometimes if you get greedy, you can lose money. You never know what's going to happen after this. But, it went a little bit up and closed below it. Anyway, I just want to go over these. If you have any, I'm going to go over your questions and everything else you have. Yeah, type of any question you have and I will answer it. Okay, can you share? Toast settings. Yeah, I'll share it right now. Share workspace. Okay. Okay, and then I send it right now to everyone. Okay, you can open my Toast. If you click on the link, it's gonna open this one. Let me just open it for you guys. It's gonna open this, and then you open it, and then it's gonna add it to your Thinkorswim. This is Thinkorswim software. It comes here, and then you can add it from here. You just load it. So what else? Yeah, all the Thinkorswim, it has all my levels, everything. You can see it there. Okay. Okay, Fibonacci, I explained in a video on my YouTube channel, Say It Option. If you go to Google, you can see it there. And I explained how to draw Fibonacci there, very simple. But I already have a class like last 2 weeks ago, and I charge $100 for it. I have a recording of it. If you want it, I can send it to you and email me. I can send you the details. And you can figure out what is this Fibonacci levels, what's important, and how to draw it and everything. Okay, another thing that always remember, all these indicators aside, volume is the most important thing. On top of all of these, the volume is the most important thing. So if you notice here, just look at the 15-minute. At the beginning, volume was very crazy high, okay? And then, your volume drops. When volume drops, bears can always take over. But you can see here that the volume starts rising. So that's a sign, there's buyer coming in, because the trend is upward and the volume is on the rise. So that means what? We're gonna go up. So look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute. Here you can see that. Let me just zoom out. Okay. You can see that the 5-minute volume starts going down here, go down, and here a little bit it starts picking up. So when it starts picking up, that means it's about to get rise. And also on top of that, you want to look at all the names. When everything starts rising and everything more volume is coming in, that's what it is. So this is TTM squeeze, as I said, and this is MACD, RSI, stochastic fast, and etc. I don't have any service yet. You find the option to. Okay. Oh, another thing, how to find the option. That's really important. Okay. For example, first of all, I don't play Lotto. I lost so much money in the past playing Lotto, but today was the monster Lotto play. I mean, you can go and look at the Lotto prices at the open. Put plays was awesome, and then later on calls were up just insane. I'm sure I didn't look at them how their return were, but I'm sure there was crazy gains there. Keep in mind, so always in option, you want to use the round numbers are the best. Why? Because when you want to buy and when you want to sell, you want the option being very liquid. So for example, let's look at the shop. Like shop is one of the worst, because just look how wild it is. Like it's 30 and 37. Let's say you buy 35 and then you want to sell it. If you want to sell it, nobody's going to buy you more than 30 or 31, 32. So you're going to end up losing money. But for example, if you go to SPY just, it's very interesting. Like, it's just down to a penny. Right now is a little bit different, but it's sometimes 2, 3 cents, 5 cents different. It's the most liquid option. And in option and strike, you always want to pick the round numbers. Round numbers are always the most that has the volume. So look at here, 345, like next week has 58K volume, okay? So if you look at 340, again, 340 was 36,000. So these are the most common ones. So if you wanted to play calls, these were the best. And look here, the same, 340P, 11,000. 345, again, like the highest volumes, the round numbers, like 40, 45. Okay, for example, on Apple, Apple, same thing, like because it went to 110, the lowest one, the best one to play was 115. You can see here, 39,000. And then after that, you could have played at 120, which look 186,000. So always pick the most round numbers, close one. So for example, Facebook, let's see here. Facebook was actually a good one too today. Facebook went down to 372. Okay, when it came down to here, one of the best play was 275. Okay, once it passes, I mean, you already played it like once. You want to, and now it's too expensive, or it's in the money. You want to play out of the money, because in the okay, here's the thing: when an option goes in the money, the moves become smaller. But when an option is out of the money and the market starts moving, when it gets near, the rise of that one is much higher than an option strike that's in the money. So this is really important. So here, I mean, let's say you had 275 and then you sold it here and then it came down here. You don't want to grab 275 again. You want to grab 280. So, and then, if you sold it and then you want to grab another one, the next one is like, you want to grab is 290. You have to go by the round number or levels or stuff. So that's, and just let's look at the FB 1 second. FB, you can see here, next week options, 80 was 3,000, 75 was 1,000, and 85 4,000, and then you can see here 90 got 5,000. So you can see the higher numbers, the round numbers has the most volume. Okay, Thinkorswim is a software. I don't know BIGC. What else? Fibonacci I drive myself. Okay, how did I predict the bottom on SPX? First of all, I predicted with a statistic fast, to be honest. A statistic fast helped me a lot to find it. Let's look at here with the statistic fast. So all market starts dropping. Okay, so this is, so make sure. Okay, all market starts dropping. And let me just draw another Fibonacci here. So I had the below level 3170333. Let me just draw another Fibonacci here to find. I didn't have, I should have had a Fibonacci here. But so just letting you know, I knew Fibonacci's inside Fibonacci levels to find out targets and stuff. So 3452.29. Then I have 317033. Okay, so wow, this is just beautiful. Just look at this. It came near this level, 3344. So that was the 61 level in the Fibonacci. Fibonacci, I mean, 61 is just really important. It came near it. So that was a sign that, you know, at this point, I mean, when it gets near it, either it's time to grab it or that's the time you can have a bounce back. And how could I guess this? I mean, as I said, the perfect time, the perfect way to predict is when everything goes oversold. Okay, so RSI, all time frame, you can see here, the 1 hour, 30 min, 15 min, 5, and also 1 min was all oversold. And if you notice here, the 5 min, it came to oversold. It was way low there. And then Statistic Fast first gave a warning, that alert that it's going to come up, but it went down lower. It went lower, it went lower. And then again, it starts going up. Even TTM squeeze still was red. And this is the time I start grabbing the apple. But you can see that the rise of the bar is getting smaller. So here you can see this bar TTM squeeze on the 5 min, the bar is getting rise. But here at like 1040, the next one was almost the same size. Okay, and the Statistic Fast was giving you an early warning that this can jump out. And anyway, here the 1 minute starts bouncing back and all market starts going up. Another thing is, when the market is dropping, at some point you start seeing that the drop is slowing down, or the drop is the acceleration is slowing down. It's not going lower, it's resisting to go lower. So look here on the 1 min, it comes down, it jumps back. Okay, so this is a sign that, okay, now the drop might be over, but it goes down again and jumps back, and then it goes above that level. So what else do you want? That's the sign that, you know, that's it for now. That's it for drop. I think yeah, all these indicators, I use them together. What else? So any more question? Otherwise we finish this. How often do you upgrade your Fibonacci? I upgrade them whenever it gets to the 426. So for example, Tesla, I had the target of 2500, and when it got to there, I drew a new one. And especially after the split, I drew a new one. So you can see here my new target is 811.23. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. If any other question, we finish this class. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending. Have a wonderful one. Hope you all made a good profit today. Okay, some other question. Yes, I use volume all the time. I look at the volume. Ichimoku, I just have it there because Ichimoku, I just have it there. I don't use it that much, but I look at it because it's really important. Like if it's going inside cloud, if it's below it, or if it's above it, that's something you want to look at it. Okay, there's a cross in the statistic. Okay, here's the thing. A Statistic Fast, it bounces so much up and down, and it's just for example, if you trade like quick in and out, it's one of the best to use it. You can see here on the 5 min, just look, like you could have grabbed it here, something, and sell it here, and same thing here, grab it here, sell it some point here. But it goes up and down so much. You have to study. Another thing I always tell people is, I mean, use this indicator and technicals, but anytime market closes, you want to go over all these and see how they reacted, how they work, how they showed you signs of, you know, what to do. So like you can see here that, you know, for example, on Apple, learn for next time, that when you see like a, you know, reverse mountain like this, you want to grab it. And also when you see a mountain like this as it's turning flat, you want to get out sooner than later. Okay. And then again, you get a reversal here, you want to get in again. You don't want to miss it. So when you see red turns to yellow and the bar starts rising, you want to grab it before it's too late and wait until this rise stops. And yeah, what else? How to choose expiration. Okay, choosing expiration is, you know, based on your risk tolerance. Somebody can risk, you know, playing weekly. Like let's say somebody wants to play with $500 and it's nothing for him. He can play same day expiration, but if you don't get heart attack, somebody can do 5,000. It depends on you. I played a lot of Lotto before and lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, but lost more than made. So I decided to stop Lottoing and just focus on like after Wednesday afternoon, I focus on the next week options. And sometimes when the market is slow and the options are premium is like killing or the consolidation phase of the day, I try to play 2 weeks out. Or if I want to hold overnight, I do 2 weeks out just to be safe. So it never hurts to be safe. And remember, when something rises, the out of the money options for more time out, they can go faster up. So for example, if you have Apple, like let's say, let's look at the Apple. Apple went to 110 today, okay? So let me add 120, 120 Apple called September 18. Let's look at that. So I added here, as you can see, it came down to 265, okay, today, and it closed at almost, you know, it went above 7. So even if you missed it at buying at this dip, you could have grabbed it at 3 or 4 and then hold it. Hold it until the 15-minute chart tells you to hold it. And another thing is, another trick is you can always use the 1-minute chart for confirmation to hold an option. For example, let's say you buy here at 4, okay? And then you can use this until it gives you a dead cross, it's safe to hold. So you bought it here, for example, let's say the 1-minute, where is it? Okay, end of the day. End of the day when it starts rising, okay? The 5-minute gave a golden cross here at 155, okay? So 155, we come, let's say we grab this at 5 as 5, okay? And then you can hold it until it gets on the 1-minute in the overbought zone, or you can hold it until it gives, before it gives a dead cross on the 5-minute, okay? As I said, always remember, when a name rises, at some point the rise slows down. You see here, if you didn't lock it here, I mean, this was the best time to lock it if you were lucky to hold it until then. But never wait, you know, to go so much down or go below your cost to get out. And okay, that's the crosses. Yeah, it means a lot. These crosses mean a lot, but they happen so much often on the lower time frame, so you have to get very familiar with them. Okay, if no questions, see you guys Tuesday. Have fun and enjoy the long weekend. Thank you all.